Good morning, and welcome to this special episode of Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. As I indicated yesterday, we have a special episode today to address certain issues, specifically the statement issued by the government, by Minister Tichir on behalf of the government, um, in which I was named. So I feel compelled to come and to let you know what caused that to happen and to put some facts for you to give you the real truth of what is going on. So, the thing, share the live. I see a lot of people here very, very early, especially those YouTubers. They were here very, very early, and I'm so glad for this. Let me give some shout out. Anthony, the man, I think he's from the Virgin Island, was present in class since 9:34. You got to be a good student, man. You got to be a good student. You are here very early, very, very early. And Patricia G came next. And then we had Kudowashi, I hope I pronounced the name correctly. Kudowashi was here. Vibort, always present and early. Vibort, always early and always present. He said that he had to work. He was caught up in work. But Vibort, you're early, man. You're early. 11 o'clock start. You're very, very early. Barbara B, Kevin, Natasha D, Roll, you're here. Roll, say you ready for this special. You ready and waiting for the special. I'm not going to disappoint you, people. I'm not going to disappoint you. So, who else? Derek, welcome, Derek. Isabella, welcome. Duan, my Jamaican friend, Dudley. Welcome, Dudley, welcome. Always present in class as well, man. Always present in class. John from Clarksville is here. Joan. We have George, my countryman, is here. The secretary, I mean, even though today is not the regular formal thing, the secretary is here. Denise, welcome. Altia, welcome. Joel, you. Jacko, welcome, Jacko. Welcome. Gary, well, Ulrich, don't miss a class, boy. Don't miss a class in terms of punctuality and attendance. You and Vibort and Dudley and others as well. You're always here. You're always here. Welcome. We have Stan, we have Lynette, Miss Quadi Doreen, all the way from Canada is here. Carol T, welcome. Parmanan, welcome too. Eric, 8218. Eric always reporting for duty, man. Elundaya, welcome. Winston. Then we have a Mandela. Out front parts. I always like this one. Out front parts is in the house. Welcome, out front parts. John, Floyd. Oh man, the school. Derek Mack is here. Sandra G is here. And we have Greg. Oh man, we are ready to go. Everybody want the special. Winston K. We are all here. Miss Quadi Frankie is here as well. And share the live while we wait. Share the live. Remember, today is a special edition, so it's me alone. We don't have all the introduction and all of that. So I am going to ask you to share the live. And I see the numbers are mounted, but continue to share. I will start in a short while. Tessa, welcome, Tessa. Not a regular on the program. Paula P, welcome. Courtney J, Compton Daddy, welcome. Jakey, welcome, welcome. The countrywoman Desiree, welcome. Share the live. Joel, welcome, my brother. Welcome. Patricia, Adrian, just share the live. Keep sharing the live, and I'm going to start almost immediately. Now, let me say the reason for this special edition. We normally broadcast every Wednesday at 11. But some issues came up, and I was advised that maybe I have to do special to catch up. And I thought it was a good advice. And as I said, those people who work with me, Ulrich, Vibort, and they know that I always listen. And know if it's a good idea, I will implement. And I don't take credit for it. I give credit where credit is due. So I was advised yesterday that maybe I need to have a special, and immediately I said that was a good idea. Well, before we start, we always give praise and thanks. And even though today is a special, we have to give praise and thanks to the Almighty for allowing us to be here in the land of the living, to be a part of this this program, speaking out, exposing corruption and incompetence. As I indicated in the notification, I am going to respond to a statement issued by the Minister, Neil Teixeira, and that our statement was in response to the town hall meeting that was held in Brooklyn on Sunday, which I attended and spoke. I will talk about that. But even before we talk about that, let me give you some background, because this problem where members of the government, present government and previous PPP government have attacked me is not something now, it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. And if I'm to give you some background, some of the older people will know. As I indicated in our previous program, I've been a police officer for 37 years. I joined the force in 1974 and I retired in 2010. During that time, I held several commands. TSU, West Demerara, which was the division at the time, A Division Commander, B Division Commander. I was in charge of traffic on 2 occasions. I was in charge of the Presidential Guard. I was there as Deputy Commissioner Operations. So I've had a lot of experience in policing. And let me run you back to 1992, October 5th, 1992. That is the day when they had the general elections. And PPP will tell you that is the day democracy was returned. Well, if it was returned then, I guess it gone again. And at that time, I was a young officer in charge of the TSU. And you may recall that following during the day, the election result had not even been announced, but there were disturbance. They had a lot of disturbance around Georgetown. I, as the officer in charge of TSU, had to take action to restore order to the city, which we did in a very professional way of October 5th and the following days. And I became the darling of the PPP because they felt that I acted very, very professionally. And then again, I think it was when 2006, they had elections again. And again, they had some issues in front of GCOM office. I was there as the officer in charge. At that time, I was in A Division as the 2IC to Henry Green, but I was the operational man. So I had to be there, take some action to disperse the crowd. And that reinforced my status with the PPP as the most professional police officer in Guyana. They said that publicly. And even the business community will tell you, those people around will tell you how professional I was. And they were very, very pleased with the action, the professional action that I had to take along with the ranks who were under me to restore order to Georgetown. And I mean, I'm proud of the action. And there too, as I said, it got so to the stage where in that period, 2000-2003, I was actually interviewed for the job of Commissioner of Police. And and again, I'm talking the truth. The records are there. And if they want to come with their mendacious self and challenge anything I want to say, get documents to prove what I'm saying is the truth. And what happened? Everything started to go south or to fall apart in 2003 when I was commander in B Division. There was a matter that was being investigated where a businessman from Blairmont, West Coast, Berbice, it was a shooting incident at his home, and the police quite correctly seized 2 firearms which were there for them to be ballistically examined as part of the investigation. The Home Affairs Minister at the time, Ronald Gadraj, called me and, well, he instructed me that I should return the firearm to the firearms, because there were 2, to the businessman. And I tried to explain to him in a very professional and polite manner that the investigation had not reached that stage for the firearm to be returned. At which time the minister actually told me, look, he's not concerned with that. He's ordering me to return the firearms. I said, well, minister, it doesn't work that way. And I suggested to him, I said, maybe you want to, at this stage, to speak to the commissioner. Mr. McDonald was the commissioner at the time. And the minister carried on, and then he reported the matter to the president. And of course, the thing changed. He reported to the president. I was rude to him. Vice President Jack Dew. President Jagdeo called me and tried to convince me that I should apologize to the ministers. I said, well, apologize for what? I did nothing wrong. What I should apologize for? He and the commissioner told me that they agreed that I did not do anything wrong. But in order to, according to Mr. McDonald told me, and I'm quoting him here, in order to bring closure to the matter, I should apologize. I said, well, I am apologizing because I did not do anything wrong. I told the president that, look, if Mr. Gajraj is alleging that I was rude to him, I think at this stage he should put it in writing. And even after having reviewed what is said in writing, I feel that I'm wrong, I'm not man enough to apologize. That was never done. That was never done. Then what happened is that the president called me, President Jagdeo called me the morning, a Monday morning it was. I had my regular commanders meeting with the officers. He himself called me on the phone. This is not through any secretary or that. I picked up the phone on my desk. It was him. He asked to speak to Commander Slow. I told him I was speaking. Then he said that he had expected an apology by then. And if I did not apologize to the minister by that afternoon, that Monday afternoon, he was going to side with the minister and I will suffer the consequences. I then made a request to see him again. He said he don't want to see me, and he terminated the conversation. He hung up the phone. I explained to the officers present what had just transpired and indicated to them that I was in no frame to continue the meeting. I left and I went to my quarters and I called my lawyer at that time, Mr. Peter Britton. I explained to him what had transpired. And he told me, he said, because at the time there was no police service commission. He said, well, they can't do anything legally because there's no police service commission. I then suggested to him that maybe I should put into writing the sequence of events that took place. And he agreed. So I sat down and I wrote a statement outlining everything that transpired, everything. And I indicated to the commissioner that I have this statement to send. Commissioner McDonald assumed that it was the apology. Well, I wasn't going to apologize. So he apparently alerted the president and them that the apology was coming. So when I sent the statement explaining the sequence of events, they were outraged. I got the information, the president and they were outraged, and they decided, Dr. Luncheon there at the Presidential Guard, that they were going to get rid of me from the force. And they decided that they are sending me out of the force to the Financial Investigation Unit. This is a unit which had been established, but hadn't given any effect. So they had no staff, nothing at all. But I don't think they had any office. They were sending me there. So I moved to the court through my lawyer by then, Mr. Rex McKay and Mr. Winston Murray, and we challenged this order to move me as being attempted to remove me from office without cause, and we challenged it. And the matter, therefore, we got an injunction preventing the commissioner from removing me from my command in Bobby's and for the government to removing me from removing in the force, right? And that is where the thing started. Well, I must tell you, I remained there until such time that Mr. McDonald demitted office and Mr. Felix took over. And we went to court and discontinued the proceedings because we wanted to give Mr. Felix the opportunity to move me to wherever he wanted. He felt it was best for me to serve, and he brought me to A Division to be the commander of A Division. So that's the background in a nutshell. I need to mention one other thing. When I retired in 2010, I had a big farewell parade and all of that. And during the farewell parade, you're making speech and so on. I made a speech. And up to recently, a few weeks ago, I reviewed it. I have the tape, and I expressed my disappointment over a particular matter in that speech. A certain officer had been dismissed, and I expressed my disappointment that the officer would be dismissed under such circumstances. And the then Attorney General, Charles Ramsey Sr., sued me. That's the farewell gift I got from the PPP government in 2010 when I retired. He sued me, claiming that I made statement in a matter that was before the court because the officer challenged the dismissal, and therefore the matter was sub judice, and I should not have spoken. He sued me. The matter fell apart because there was no grounds really. It's just victimization. They're trying to get at me. And it has continued since then. Since 2010, it has continued. When I became Even before I became the chairman of the Police Service Commission, I was appointed the commissioner to inquire into a COI. The president, well, not president, the opposition leader, Jaggi, attacked, talk all sort of rubbish. It's there in the media. It's there. When I was appointed as the chairman of the Police Service Commission in 2018, again, he did not agree that I should be appointed. He made all sort of allegations, trying to get back at me. These things are all documented, you know. These things are all documented. They're all documented, and I invite many of you who are of an inquiring mind to just Google them. They're there, and I have all the evidence. So that is the background. I became a person they feel to attack because I am one of the few persons, especially police officers, who stood up and said the correct thing must be done. I am not going to bend, and I'm not going to be pulled into doing anything unlawful, anything illegal, right? Anything immoral, anything unethical. I'm not going there. As the people will say, I ain't there, sir. I ain't there, sir. So they have been attacking me at every turn. They do these things. So let me fast forward to Sunday at the meeting. I made notes so I can't forget what I was saying. I made some notes, some jottings, some bullet jottings. So y'all bear with me. I'm going to try to go through everything. I should indicated I had wanted to play a certain video this morning, but the technical people are unable to do it. Maybe at some subsequent time, the video will be played. Now, I am, as I said, I am compelled to respond to the statement. I can't allow that to go. You know, Mr. Shearer and them are good at propaganda. They come and they spew all sort of nonsense. And in the past, they got away with it because we, the ordinary people, did not have the means of responding. What would have happened long ago before social media? A statement of that would have been made. And if you want to respond, you have to call a press conference. And even when they come to the press conference, people, well, first of all, a lot of them would not come. And when they come, they doctor what you have to say. But now with social media, on a program like this, I can relate exactly what transpired. And this is what I'm going to do today. I attended the meeting, the town hall meeting on Sunday. I saw the advertisement and I said, well, look, let me attend this meeting to hear what is going on. And I went there and I got a seat. I sat down. And even before the meeting started, one of the moderators came to me and said, Mr. Slow, welcome and so on. We see you here and we would like to invite you to make a brief statement on what you consider to be the problem with the rule of law in Ghana. I consented. I said, I had no problem. And they were specific. It had to relate to my experience. So I said, I'll go, no problem. I'm going to do so. So I went and I spoke. The tape is there. And I said, I wanted to show the tape this morning, but we have some issues. So I'm unable to do so this morning. But I'm sure those of you on social media may have seen the short tape. And what I did, I went there and I outlined an incident with me and the police on the 15th of October 2021 in the Georgetown Magistrate Court. That too is there for people to see. That too is there for people to see what transpired. And basically what transpired, and I'm going to go into it in detail as we go along because she made statements about when I was at the Police Service Commission, what happened, and the Attorney General last night too made. So I'm going to address all of those things. I ain't left in anything undone today. Today is the day. I'm going to bring it out. And I will invite you and the listeners and sensible people to analyze, because I'm going to give you dates and times so you analyze. So I spoke about the incident at the Georgetown Magistrate Court on the 15th of October 2021. I went to attend court because I was summoned by Superintendent Romana to attend Georgetown Magistrate Court 3 to answer a charge of conspiracy to commit fraud. I, along with other officers, including Mr. Conway, another member of the Police Service Commission, some retired and serving police officers, were charged with conspiracy to commit fraud. And that related to an invitation we got from the then Commissioner Leslie James to assist in revising the police standing order. He called us and he asked us to assist. We agreed. At some stage, the police decided that, look, they're going to give us a stipend for our efforts, and that was done. We had no say in that. That was done. So when all the rubbish start and thing, really, as I tell you later, he got charged for conspiracy to commit fraud. And so I went to court that day to answer this charge. And Romana and the ransom Soku were there arresting me, trying to arrest me for the same matter that I went to court for. They arrested me, and then they're telling me, Romana telling me that he has to arrest me for read the caution after charge. That's what rubbish you're talking about. Caution after charge is not read when a person is already charged and before the court. And I went down to lecture to them when caution after charge is read. So I outlined that briefly at the meeting. And then I also outlined this incident involving the attorney only last Friday, where the same Romana and other ranks of the Soku arrested the lawyer because she advised her client to remain silent and not to give statements. So I spoke about those two incidents, and I said those are two examples of the breakdown of the rule of law in Guyana. And you would note since then, the Guyana Bar Association has condemned the same action on Friday. The Jamaican Bar Association has done the same. And I saw last evening, the Commonwealth Bar Association has condemned the same action that I spoke about. I noted too that the Guyana Bar Association has a special meeting this afternoon to deal with the issue. That is what I talk about, those two things. That is what I spoke about, nothing else. And that seems to have offended the government. So they came out with a statement. And she said, let me tell you, she said that she came out with a statement. And if you see the statement, the long press statement, and she said that in order to discredit me, they said what? That I have been charged with sexual assault of a woman in Guyana. Well, in all the statement, I'm saying that alone tells obvious that the minister mentioned that to create the impression that I'm a person of questionable character who lacks credibility and therefore should not be listened to. So when I tell these people about these two incidents, which I feel is a breakdown in law order in Guyana, they're attacking me for telling them that. And she said, well, I'll be charged. And let me say, and apparently she forgot that everyone should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. So while indeed I am charged, I have never been convicted of any crime in Guyana or elsewhere. She has colleagues in cabinet who have been convicted in the court of Guyana for crime. So I need to mention that. And again, I don't want to go into, I said the minister, remind her she got cabinet colleagues who had serious allegations made against them, including sexual predatory behavior. I don't know if you all remember Julius, but those of you must remember thing and see who Julius, so you can know what I'm talking about. And there's only one example. And the only thing, the statement that I'm charged is true. That I'm charged with sexual assault, they say, against them. I'm going to tell you, again, the matter is before the court. As a matter of fact, this morning, the matter came up in Georgia Magistrate Court 3, and it is postponed until the 15th of December. I can't go into the details of it, but just to say, yes, 3 charges were filed against me on the same 15th of October. And what the allegation? Let me tell you what the allegation, because I'm saying I can talk about the allegation, but I'm not going to go into the details. The charges are all false. The charges are all false. The facts are that Woman Assistant Superintendent Nicola Kendall made an allegation in April 2021. Listen to this carefully. She made an allegation in April 2021 that on March 26th, 29th, and April the 2nd, 2019. Let me go back there. This allegation was made in April of 2021, that 2 years before, on the 26th of March, 29th of March, and the 2nd of April, and what is the action alleged that I do? I touch her legs and feet without her permission. This was said to have occurred during a meeting at the police headquarters during the standing order review process. when several others were present. That is the nature of the allegation. Let me go back it so you could understand. Because I know that sexual assault is charged as sexual assault, and people jump and they come to all type of erroneous conclusion. But let me tell you again, Woman Assistant Superintendent Nicola Kendall made an allegation in April of 2021 that on March 26th, 29th, and April the 2nd, 2019, more than 2 years before, I touched her leg with my and feet. I touched her leg and feet without her permission. This was said to have occurred during a meeting at police headquarters during the standing order review process when several other officers and other persons, retired and serving officers, were present. These allegations are false. The charges were filed on the 19th of May 2021. Well, I added the date, but today, as I said, the matter came up this morning, and the matter now is to come up again on the 15th of December this year. Right? So let me move on from that. As I said, I can't really go in to the details, but to tell you that at the appropriate time, I will disclose the motive behind these allegations and the intellectual authors. But I guess by now, you are all sensible people and you figure out what went on and what is going on. You're sensible people. You're no fool. I ain't got to read and spell for you. I have given you what are the facts. Let me tell you something about facts. I made a note here. Those of you who are following me on who are friends with me, see the Facebook page and on Speaking Out, will see that I said that the saying, the greatest advantage of speaking the truth is that you don't have to remember what you said. So when I talk, I don't have to remember what I know the facts, and I am relating the facts to you. Let me go on to the other aspect of it, because I say I can't speak much on that, but I will deal with it at the appropriate time. And the other aspect of it, the minister stated that I was suspended as the chairman of the Police Service Commission because I refused to appoint police officers recommended by the Commissioner of Police acting, 90% of whom were Afro-Guyanese. She asked why didn't the local elected officials, she was referring to the New York local elected officials who were skating in the comments on Sunday at the town hall meeting, why didn't the elected officials call out slow for rolling back the upward mobility of many of his fellow Afro-Guyanese senior officers in the Guyana Police Force? I said, well, if the minister and our colleagues are good at propaganda, I have to give them credit for that. They're good at propaganda. They have to be credited for that. However, in this age of social media, they cannot be allowed to get away with all the lies. I am not going to allow them to get away with the lies. I will put the facts before you, and you be the judge. You be the judge. And what are the facts? What are the facts? We had a commissioner, Henry Fraser. The old police here, remember, he told some one of the officers, he said, facts are stubborn things. No matter what you do, they're moving. Facts are stubborn things. That is what Henry Fraser said. And I'm saying that facts are stubborn things. They're not going away. They're not going away. So let me relate the facts to you. Let me give you the facts. I was appointed a member and the chairman of the Police Service Commission in August of 2018. As I indicated earlier, Mr. Conway was also a member of that commission, right? The Constitution of Guyana gives the Police Service Commission the sole authority to promote ranks in the Guyana Police Force from inspector to assistant commissioner. So that is one of the functions, promotion and discipline, and they have some other functions, but that is the main one that I want to do, the promotion of the thing. Now, the Service Commission that I chaired, I should tell you the life of the Service Commission is 3 years. So it was from 2018, the 9th of August to 8th of August 2021. 3 years, automatic. That's what the Constitution says. During our time as in the commission, 2018 on December 31st, we promote hundreds of people. On December 31st, 2019 again, we promoted a whole set of people again who are deserving of their promotion and who met the criteria for promotion. In 20, the other thing in the police in 2020, the Police Service Commission met to consider ranks for promotion again. Because you know, there's a tradition in the force, promotions are done what we call Old Year's Day. That is December 31st. Old Year's Day, promotions are done. So we started the process around the 23rd of December 2021 because it's a very involved, a long process if you want to get it right. And we were determined to get it right. I will tell you later on of all the shenanigans that went on. I ain't holding back. I'm telling you as it is. I'm telling you. And people who are in the system and those are honest, because I still got honest and dedicated people in the system. They know what I'm saying is the truth, the old truth, and nothing but the truth. So we met on the 23rd to consider people for promotion, and we created a short list. In other words, you know, the force has an establishment. The establishment will tell you how many ranks to be commissioner, deputy commissioner, assistant commissioner, and so on and so on. When you meet, you look to see what the establishment requires and how many vacancies there are. And invariably what happens, you'll have recommendations for far more persons than vacancies. So if you have vacancies for 5, they might recommend 10. So you have to go through a process to make sure that the person is qualified. If it is that they have to pass the appropriate qualifying examination, yes, you check to see that they pass. If it is that they have disciplinary matters pending, they have to be eliminated because the rules say that once you have pending disciplinary matter, you are not eligible. And so on. You check all of those things. You check the record of the person. So we started that process on the 23rd. Now the process continued and was to be finalized on the 31st of December so that the promotion could have been released that day. As I indicated to you, Old Year's Day is the day when they traditionally, there's nothing saying it must be done on that day, but that is the tradition. And we met, and it has been there for years, and we stuck to that. On the very day, as we were almost finalizing the list, no, well, I jumped too far. The very night of the 23rd of December, no sooner than we finished, I went home, and I got a call that I should call the president. I was reluctant to do so because I had a suspicion that the fact that the Police Service Commission met that day, you wanted to talk about promotion. Because we had a previous meeting in September where he had named, he had told me of some the names of some persons that he would like to have promoted. And I danced. I said, well, you know, they got certain criteria, promotion examination. Can you mention specific names? Promotion examination, disciplinary matters, and I danced with the thing. I went and I reported to the other members, and I said, look, we are not bothered with this thing. We promoting people based on merit, and we will continue. So on the 23rd, when he called me, I was reluctant to call. But you know, I'm a disciplined person. Having spent 37 years in the police force, rising from constable to assistant commissioner, and skip no rank, the discipline is in me. So I felt wrong. I felt it would be wrong for me not to call the president of him being asked to do so. So I called the president. So far, that has turned out to be the mistake of my life. Because that is when all the troubles, the real troubles start. 23rd of December, 2021, the evening of the 23rd of December. And he talked about the promotion. So I told him, I said, yeah, he said you ordered the commission met. I said, yeah, the commission met. And we have shortlisted people for promotion for further consideration. The man asked about some specific names. And I told him, I said, well, you know, those names, as I indicated to you before, those persons have pending disciplinary matters. And the rule of the commission is that once you have pending disciplinary matters, you cannot be considered for promotion at that time. The matters have to be completed. The man fly off the handle. The man fly off. And those of you who saw the video at Mocha, when he went there at Mocha, when he jumped into the chairman and carry on, you can understand when I say flying off, what I mean. fly off. So I stood my ground. I said, well, look, these are the rules. I'm not going to break the rules. I want to know how long this matter going to be pending. And that, I said, well, it has nothing to do on the commissioner alone. And that was true, because one of the pauses he mentioned was trying to avoid the process. The man run all along. You don't want to face the music. He's now promoted as of July. And next one challenged the next one had disciplinary matter pending, and he went to the High Court and challenged the matter. And the matter was still pending before the High Court. And here it is. They're trying to get the commission to promote these people. So I stood my ground. That's on the 24th of December, 23rd rather, on the 23rd of December, 2021. The following day, folks, listen to this carefully. I'm telling the truth, attacking the truth. And I told them before, I'm willing to take a polygraph or like detector test. Willing to put me on in the Bible and swear, as I did in an affidavit, with all of these details. On the 24th of December, the Minister of Home Affairs, that is the 24th of December 2020, the Minister of Home Affairs communicated to the person who was carrying out the functions of Commissioner of Police, Nigel Appy, that he wanted several officers, some of whom were shortlisted for promotion, charged for varying criminal offenses. Listen to this carefully. I am making this up. The minister communicated to the commissioner that he wanted these persons charged for varying offenses. He named the offenses. And all of the offenses that were named were related to incidents or activities during the election period. All. Everyone from dereliction, the duty, and all of that. In one case, they even accused an officer of assaulting diplomats. Can you imagine that? Assaulting diplomats. You imagine an officer of the Ghana police force assault diplomats, and there's a big international uproar. And since then, 2020, December to now, November 2022, nothing has happened, because it was just, and we saw through that. That was just a pretext to prevent the persons who were shortlisted and whom they did not favor from being promoted. So we are bothered with that. We consider the letter, the documents, and all the outline. And we saw some irregularities in the thing, because normally the communication from the force to the Police Service Commission is done by the commissioner. There's no other officer. So even if another officer signs, he has to sign on behalf of the commission. That is protocol. But that wasn't done. So we said, look, we are going to ignore this letter they sent, because they sent it to the commissioner, and then an officer at the commissioner, the admin man, sent it to the Police Service Commission. Commissioner had no involvement, as far as we are aware, or in it coming to the commission. So we sat down, we deliberated, and we decided we're going to ignore the letter. And on the 31st of December, while we were finalizing the list to be released, we got word from the legal officer at the Police Service Commission that the Chief Justice had issued, a status. She said the status quo must remain. And that was in response to a fixed date application, a challenge by Senior Superintendent Calvin Brutus, challenged the promotion. He was joined by Superintendent Bacchus, I think his Shiv Prasad is the first name, Assistant Superintendent Siobhan Jupiter, Inspector Prem Narayan, and Deputy Superintendent Stanley. They joined Brutus in challenging the promotion. That's on the 31st of December, when the Chief Justice said, well, you can't make the promotion until this matter is heard and determined. So we couldn't go ahead with promotion on December the 31st. But even before that, so you show this thing all these people on the 17th of December 2020, even before the commission met to consider promotion. Remember, I'm telling you that the commission met for the first time on the 23rd of December. This is on the 17th of December of the same year. The same persons that I mentioned a while ago, Brutus, Shiv Prasad Bacchus, Stanley, Jupiter, and Prem Narayan, got a lawyer to write us to say that they are aware that promotions are likely to be made, but they are saying that no promotion should be made until such time that disciplinary matters that were pending against those ranks are ordered and determined. And then they went on to actually threaten the Police Service Commission, say that if promotions were made, before these matters were completed, they will move to the court to nullify the promotion. I got it in writing, Comrade, black and white, Kagaj, it's there. So this is not a figment of my imagination. I ain't making these things up. I can't again, guys, I ain't this up. I am telling you exactly what transpired. And again, as I say, you form your own opinion. So we couldn't make any promotion. We could not make the promotion. So here, Mr. Shearer talked about slow deny black people promotion and all the crap, and even the Attorney General. And then let me go on. So the promotion in 2020 was prevented by a court order, right? It was by a court order. Let me move on. I check in my notes. Now, once the matter came up in court, again, it is there for you to see in the news. They reported on it. It came up sometime in January after the injunction on December 31st. The Attorney General represented the force, and he said, basically, he told the judge, the Chief Justice was the person dealing with it, that he wanted some time to speak to the parties to come to some amicable arrangement. So that time was granted. And what happened then, he called meetings. I think there are 2 meetings he called, trying to get the Police Service Commission to give in to these people. They wanted the Police Service Commission to promote these people who challenged the commission, even though they had pending disciplinary matters. We were not going to agree to that because we said that amounted to blackmail. And we, the members of the commission, were unanimous in our decision that we're not going to give in to blackmail. So he did not get this read. The Attorney General did not get to have the matter resolved. So the matter proceeded in court to be ventilated. And it continued for a while. It continued. Again, let me refer to my notes. Now, the matter was set to be heard around the the matter was set to be heard before the Chief Justice around April. No, not in May. Let me get it right, because they're listening, around May 2021. That's last year, around May 2021. On the 19th of May, 2021, ranks of Soku arrested member of the commission, Mr. Conway, some retired officers, Whitaker, Fraser, Gilbert, and the man was in charge, Sutton. They arrested us. They arrested them and filed a charge the same day, on the 19th of May 2021, for conspiracy to commit fraud. At the same time, they also filed a sexual offense charge against me. But, I was to travel the same day to Guyana, because people know that I worked in the Caribbean. I was to travel the same day to Guyana, but I did not travel. So they went out of the airport. Soku went at the Chedijagan International Airport to arrest me when I came off the plane on this matter. I did not go then. I did not go. Right? So they arrest them, charge filed on the 19th of May, conspiracy to commit fraud. Now, let me go on and tell you. Now, the Prime Minister, Mark Phillips, sent letters to myself and Mr. Conway for us to show cause why he should not advise the president that we should be suspended from the Police Service Commission. And you won't believe this, but again, the records are there. The letter that the Prime Minister sent to me and Conway for us to show cause why he should not advise the president to suspend us was dated the 19th of May. So the same day the charge was filed, and even before the persons appeared in court, because they appeared in court the following day, the Prime Minister already write letter for them to show, for me and Conway to show cause why we should not be suspended. Well, that's the fact. And they were using the fact that we were charged to have this suspension. Remember the matter before the Chief Justice is to be heard, a few days This is the 19th. I think it was the 22nd of May. So they're hustling to charge us and have us suspended, perhaps even before the matter come up, or at least to discredit us when the matter comes up before the Chief Justice. Then again, believe you, I listen carefully, this thing and up on YouTube, you could go back and listen to hear this thing what I tell you about this conspiracy. The only conspiracy that they have, even though we are charged with conspiracy to commit fraud, the only conspiracy in all of this is a conspiracy between the SOCU and the government officials. So they wanted to suspend us because we charged. Then they recognize, maybe they were advised because they got previous case. You got the Carville Duncan case that was ruled on. That again, as I've said earlier, there's a presumption of innocence. So even if you're charged, you're not guilty of anything. You would not believe that within a week, the same Prime Minister Mark Phillips wrote again, this time to all the members of the Police Service Commission, for us to show cause why he should not advise the president to suspend us. This time he said, the reason being, we joined with Member of Parliament Ganesh Maipal to challenge in court the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act, which we did. And the reason why we did that is because they were denying us funds. Previously, the budget will provide funds to the Service Commission and you will decide how to use it. When in 2020, the PPP returned to power, they discontinued that because that was something that came under the coalition. They discontinued that and went back to this thing where the Police Service Commission, when you want money to do anything, you got to go to the Ministry of Finance. In other words, the Ministry of Finance now controlling the activities of the Police Service Commission. That is the type of independence they talk about. And we had a matter where an officer went to court and the Attorney General entered appearance on behalf of the Police Service Commission. And a couple of days before the matter to come up before the court, they withdrew the defense from the Attorney General's chambers, withdrew the defense. So when the matter came up before the judge, we asked the time to refile the defense, which was granted. And we had to then get a lawyer. We're looking to get a lawyer to assist us. And of course, he wanted money. And they said that, look, you ain't get no money. So it's a long story. So we were denied funds. So we felt that it was prudent for us to challenge this change in the law where they did not provide the Service Commission with its own funds, and you have to go and beg at the Ministry of Finance. And we get all them letters, all them letters where the Financial Secretary write and directing the Commission to be represented by the Attorney General's chambers and all that. Those letters are there. I'm shocked by now, they've done just about burn up enough thing there, They're also to burn up a lot of stuff. But the records are there. So he wrote for us to be suspended. And as the matter progressed, when we responded, in the first instance, when he wrote, in the first instance, we responded, me and Mr. Conway, through our attorney, the very efficient and professional Mr. Selwyn Peters out of Canada, and we gave him a 500-page response. We give them a 500-page response, and I'm even sure that they read it. And then when they send the second showcase letter, again we responded. Not in that many pages, but we responded completely to that. Right? And tell them, look, we pointed out the Constitution to them. Because even if you wanted to suspend the Police Service Commission, there's a process. The Constitution, Article 225, spells out the process. And they were not following the process. So that was outlined to them. I'm giving you all the build up so you can know how the suspension thing works that Gail Teixeira talking about. Right? So on this, the Chief Justice Court notified us that a ruling is likely to be handed down on the 18th of June 2021 in this challenge brought by Brutus and the others. On the 18th of June, this matter was to be decided. On the 16th of June, 2021, 2 days before the decision, all of us on the Police Service Commission received a letter from the president saying that we were immediately suspended 2 days before the case was to be heard. The matter came up on the 18th. The decision was not handed down then. It was put down to the 28th. And let me tell you this one time again. I know you're sensible. The life of the commission, as I indicated, remember, I tell you, is 3 years. So from the 9th of August 2018 to the 8th of August 2021. And this is on the 16th of June 2021, less than 2 months before the life of the commission ended. The president suspending the Police Service Commission. The question is asked, why? And let me answer it. The reason why the Police Service Commission was suspended on the 16th of June is because they knew that the ruling of the Chief Justice would go against them. And therefore, they did not want a commission in place to make the promotions that were held up since December 31st. That is the reason, only reason. Any sensible person can understand that. So that is what happened. So the commission was suspended. Of course, the lawyer again, Mr. Peters, wrote to the president and advising that this thing was unconstitutional. They did not follow the Constitution, Article 225 specifically, which outlines the process for suspension of any commission, not only Police Service Commission. And therefore, he has advised his client to disregard the suspension and to continue with their function. And that is what we did. We continued to work. We had meetings and so on, and we continued. Now, it's interesting to note as well that the Police Service Commission was not the only commission that joined with Ganesh Maipal to challenge the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act. But the Police Service Commission is the only commission that they suspended. Again, you have to pick sense out of nonsense. You have to pick sense out of nonsense. Let me refer to my note again. And the commission, the Constitution says there are two circumstances that can lead to the suspension of members of the commission. Two. And it says, let me read it in. It says that those conditions are inability to function in his or her office, whether arising from infirmity of body or mind, or any other cause whatsoever. So it's inability to carry out your functions. And the second one is misbehavior. Now, in none of the suspension, the so-called letter, and even in the suspension letter, they did not allege any misconduct or misbehavior, nor did they allege any inability to carry out the function. So there you have it. Then we went on to the 28th of June, 2021. That is the day when the Chief Justice handed down her decision. And she threw out the challenge brought by Brutus and the others, threw it out, say, tell your merit, and she made some scathing remarks during the oral delivery. And after she threw it out, the Police Service Commission then went ahead and released the promotion. 132 persons were promoted on the 28th of June 2021. The next day, the 29th of June 2021, on NCN, the Attorney General has a program there, Issues in the News. Here on NCN, the Attorney General said clearly that the government will not recognize the promotions that were made by the Police Service Commission. Not recognized. I should tell you here too that after the suspension, we moved to court to challenge it. Because even on the 29th, when the Attorney General made the statement, he said that once the president issues an order or something like a suspension, no one, he mentioned my name, you can't disregard, you have to comply. And if you feel aggrieved, you have to go to the court, and only a competent court, big statement, competent court. So we went to court. We went to court to challenge the lawfulness of the suspension. That would have been sometime in June last year. To this day, well, I can tell you the sequence then. But the government today, this day, has not recognized those promotions of 132. I know some in the last audit promotion that they had, some of those persons were promoted, but they have a lot of people, I think about 40 something, who were not promoted. So, Mr. Shearer, when you talk about who promote and when promote, the Attorney General and your government said that you're not recognizing the promotion. They are not recognizing the promotion. Some of those persons have retired and have not had the benefit of the increase in remuneration and the superannuation benefits and so on. The matter is still before the court because, let me tell you this part now. So we challenge it. And in the challenge, the president was named as a respondent. The Attorney General challenged that, said you can't name the president is immune, and you can't name him. Well, the judge, the judge who was dealing with this matter, the Honorable Mr. Gino Prasad, after all the arguments, he ruled that yes, you can't name the president, so the president should be removed. Now, the very day that that order came down, as the judge was in the process of doing what they call case management, set date when they got to file affidavit and all of that, the Attorney General advised them that they had filed an application to have the matter discontinued on the very day that the decision was handed down. And the grounds for that was that by then, I remember I told you all the commission life came to an end on the 8th of August. His argument was that the commission life had ended and therefore the matter should not be continued. 8 legal arguments, run and it run and it run. And I think it was in March of this year, the judge ruled that notwithstanding the fact that the commission life had ended, the matter was of sufficient public interest to be continued. And what he said that even the matter was the police service commission versus these people, the fact that the service commission life had ended, he will substitute Paul Slow, that is me, in the place and stead of the police service commission. So it was no longer the police service commission versus the secretary versus the commissioner versus all of these people. It was Paul Slow versus those persons. The Attorney General challenged that in the full court of Guyana. He challenged it in the full court. Again, arguments, and the full court ruled that the judge was correct. However, they varied the order to say instead of Slow being substituted in the place instead of the police service commission, Paul Slow will be added as an applicant. So Paul Slow was added as an applicant into this matter. The Attorney General, again, not satisfied with that, sought leave from the full court to take this matter to the appeal court. The Attorney General sought leave of the full court to appeal their decision to the appeal court, and that leave was denied. The full court ruled that, look, there's no need for this matter to go any further. They done the matter right there. In other words, they done the dance right there and then, so it could not have gone any further. What has been happening since then is that they have now retained a senior counsel, that is the Police Service Commission has retained a senior counsel, and they are now trying to have the matter thrown out. They're saying that the Police Service Commission has no interest in having this matter continued. But they're not addressing the question where the full court ruled that Paul Slow is added as an applicant. Now consider that. So this matter comes up on the 11th of this month. Comes up next week on the 11th of this month. So let me run you some more stuff. Let me tell you other stuff. The promotions, as I tell you, I explained that. Now let me address what was said, more directly what was said in the release. The release said that I changed the Paul Slow. Well, let me say this. The Police Service Commission was not a Paul Slow one-man show. Mr. Conway explained that. There's not a decision taken at the Police Service Commission where we did not meet and discuss and have unanimous agreement on it. So it was even said Paul Slow did not promote people. Paul Slow couldn't promote people. It's the Police Service Commission that the Constitution tasked with promoting people. But what happened? Let me tell you where that statement, the background to that. Previous to 2018, you had allegations of all types of things with the Police Service Commission, where the commission would meet and decide on promotions, and before it was released, they had to be taken to a certain place in Rav Street. It had to be taken to a certain place in Brickdam. When it got there, they would take out people, put in people, and that was that. I will invite the same minister, well, I can't the guy, and he said about she bumping, she going and talking, writing all sort of thing, to check out the case of Courtney Ramsey versus the Service Commission and the Commissioner of Police. Check it out. It might be instructive. And to give the viewers a brief synopsis of what took place, Courtney Ramsey was represented. He was a senior superintendent, very competent officer. He was a detective officer. Then he was a divisional commander, and he was recommended for promotion by the police force. Our understanding is that the Police Service Commission might have agreed with the recommendation. But when it went to a certain place, they took out his name and put in an next man name who wasn't 1/10 as qualified and competent as him. And what they did, so Courtney quite rightly challenged it. It's one of those unique cases. It's there for all to see. It went to court, and they claimed that one of the reasons why he was bypassed is because he was due to retire very shortly. Ramsey did his research and found 2 officers who were senior superintendent and who were on pre-retirement leave, who were on leave prior to their retirement when they were promoted to assistant commissioner. So, he, as I said, very competent person. He showed them that. And at the end of the day, what happened in the matter? The Attorney General's chamber throwing the towel. Book, because they ain't get no case. They're throwing the towel. They refuse, or they decline to contest the matter any further. Ramsey, the court made some rulings about his benefits and all of that. I don't think up to now he get paid. But Courtney, if you don't get paid up to now, remember the court rule that you're getting 6%. There's some interest you're getting on the money compounded until such time that they pay you. So I will invite them to look at that when you talk about discrimination and not promote people and all of that. And I want to make a point that missed earlier. When we talk about the 24th of December 2020, when the Overface Minister sent this list for people to be charged criminally, and we said that was pretextual to make sure that they weren't promoted, all the names were of a certain ethnic group. All the names who they didn't want to promote was of a certain ethnic group. So we come down to the PSC, the Police Service Commission. We deliberated on promotions. We deliberated. I tell you about the case of Ramsey. The credibility, when we took over the Police Service Commission, the credibility of the commission was perhaps at its lowest. Allegations were made, credible allegations were made that monies were paid. I mean, we know the place, and them old police, they know money had to go to a certain place on the East Bank. That was he was a collecting officer. Monday was a collecting officer and paid to a certain member of the Police Service Commission. Allegations were made that a certain member of the Police Service Commission would demand sexual and other favors from ranks in order to get a promotion. Allegations were made that the man used to keep barbecue, and the police officers who want promotion had to sell barbecue tickets. All of those things are on record. And let me say, and I talk with my mouth full of water, because an investigation was done. An investigation was done, and I saw the report. I saw the report of this investigation, a damning recommendations, but then nothing did happen. But it is there. These are allegations. So when we took over this office commission, you had this cloud, and we did everything to erase that stain that was there on the commission. And I say this without any fear of successful contradiction. We did an excellent job. And many officers have said this to us. We did an excellent job because we decided that it must be on merit. So when the minister talking about black brothers not being promoted, we didn't look at race when we made promotion. Check the records to see who the people were promoted. We tried to follow Standing Order 22, which deals with promotion. There's the Ghana Police Force Standing Order 22, which deals with promotion. And it speaks about qualification, passing the appropriate qualifying examination. It speaks about not having disciplinary matters pending, and it speaks to certain other things. And what we discovered that we could not have relied on the administration of the police force because they would, to put it mildly, they were dishonest in the submissions. So they would submit to you that a man is recommended. And they will say that he has no pending disciplinary matters or matter. And when you examine the records, both the man get pending disciplinary matter. They will tell you that a person has passed the appropriate qualifying examination. Because in the Guyana Police Force, at least it used to be that way, I see it changing now, that in order for you to be promoted from sergeant to inspector or upward, you have to pass what they call the appropriate qualifying examination. To be promoted from inspector to assistant superintendent, you have to pass the appropriate qualifying examination. The other ranks do not require any appropriate qualifying examination, but it's performance and conduct and all of that. And they will tell you in writing that a person has passed. When you ask them, where is it? They give you a pass slip. Where is the pass slip? They can't find it. On the other hand, they will tell you that the person is not recommended because he has not passed the promotion qualifying examination. I personally have had cause to call people, say, but why have you not taken the appropriate qualifying examination? I said, sir, I took the promotion qualifying and I passed. I said, well, bring your pass slip. And they will bring the pass slip, which is the evidence, and show you that they passed. And I'm not the only one. Ask Mr. Conway, ask the other members of the Police Service Commission. That is what was going on. So when recommendations were made, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, because many times they were influenced by issues other than competence. They get a friend and they couldn't get past the commission that I chaired with that. They couldn't get past because one of the things too, we knew a lot of the ranks. So when they write up this fictitious thing, right away you see through it. Right away you will see through it. And then the other thing they will do, another problem, supersession. So they're going to supersede people without any justification. They recommend a man who is very, very junior to jump people. And then all they will tell you when they write, they don't think that the person is not considered at this time. So why? Why are you not considering the post at this time? They can't give no explanation. So we said, no, that's not fair. That is not fair. If you want to supersede someone, you must make a proper argument, and we might agree. You know, when we went through the process of sanitizing and deciding yes and who to promote, the current secretary of the Police Service Commission, who has been there for donkey years, and he left for a period and he came back. They brought him back there in, I think, 2019, 2020, sometime then. Because he had been removed, he came back. He was compelled to say publicly that he has never seen such a fair, he has never seen a fairer or more transparent process in determining promotions at the Police Service Commission. A man who's been there for donkey years, said so to us. He said so to us members of the commission, and I thanked him for his honesty. Perhaps I was wrong, but I did thank him at the time for his honesty. But subsequent events proved that perhaps I was wrong in my judgment. Let me tell you something more, man. Let me tell you. I'd say this. The Police Service Commission that I chair can justify every single promotion that was made or denied. Every single one. And I challenge anybody who feel that they were ill done by the Police Service Commission to raise it. Raise it. And we will tell you why you weren't promoted. Raise it. Right? Raise it. Nobody can accuse us of taking money for promotion. Nobody can accuse any one of us of demanding sexual and other favors for promotion. That is what took place before. So, Minister, when you're talking about the Police Service Commission, you got to come better than that. When you're spewing your political propaganda, that ain't gonna work, because I am laying the facts, and what I am laying out here, we have evidence to support. We have evidence to support. As one man in the night that said, don't come by me funny. Don't come at me funny. The next thing that I want to tell you about briefly is that even with the promotion made in July this year, you know, they rushed to this promotion. And why did they rush to make the promotion? Mr. Conway addressed it on several occasions. The chairman of the Police Service Commission on July 1 this year said publicly that they weren't at the stage to consider promotion. This is on July 1, he said so. Now, I had moved to the court on the 28th of June to say that no promotion should be made in the Guyana Police Force until this matter that I spoke about, where the Attorney General refused to recognize the promotions. that matter is ventilated in court. They were instructed to hustle and make the promotion, because I think this thing was filed on a Friday. Hustle and make the promotion before the court can grant the injunction. So if you remember well, the first Monday in July is a public holiday. So the first working day would have been the Tuesday. So they hustle. So this man, a man of the cloth, a man who's supposed to be a bishop, told the Guyanese public on the 1st of July that they hadn't reached to the stage, you ain't get nothing. And the next day, a government order was issued promoting a whole set of people. And in that promotion, as I've said before, consideration for promotion examination, consideration for disciplinary matters and those things went through the window. They get people promoted in that list. Ma promoted several ranks. He never even attempt to pass the promotion examination. He promoted from sergeant, I think, to assistant superintendent. You get man, you got another colorful character, promoted, jump 200 and something people promoted to senior officer rank, and I don't, well, I think, well, I'm even sure he passed the examination. But the man get the political backings and the political contact. If you all want to know who I'm talking about, look at the tape with the big problem at the election commission office there in Field Street when they broke down the door to the chairman's office. You can see who we're talking about. So that is what the thing. So you get back to the stage now where people don't have to be pass no promotion examination. People don't have to not have pending disciplinary matters. It's open sepulchre now. Open sepulchre. And I can tell you, because people have been reporting, the thing has caused the ranks of the force who have been bypassed to be demoralized. Because they sit back and they see people who they know are incompetent, and the people get promotion. You had a situation in August of, was it August or September 2020, where a whole set of ranks from the presidential guard, they joined in August, promoted to sergeant in the same year. Within a month or two, they promoted from constable to sergeant. Ask them to write a statement, they can't even write a statement. And that is what the minister come in. That's what you got to talk about. Those are the things, because it is affecting the morale of the rank, the competent and professional ranks who have been there toiling in and out. That is what you got to talk about. And when you talk, and Mr. Conway addressed it yesterday, I didn't get all the details and so on, but when you're talking about discrimination, tell the Guyanese public why at this stage, on this day, the 3rd of November 2022, only 2 Afro-Guyanese commanders are on the coastline. Let me repeat that. Tell the Guyanese public. So you have Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4B, Region 4C, and Region 6. All on the coast, Indo-Guyanese. The only 2 positions on the coast occupied by Afro-Guyanese, 4A and Region 5. Tell Guyanese people why since 2020 that has taken place. And you know, you like to talk about the racial imbalance in the police force. Talk about the racial imbalance where you have so many Afro-Guyanese. If you have so many Afro-Guyanese, why is it that so many Indo-Guyanese are in senior command position in those positions? And to extend it even further, the Afro-Guyanese commanders, as I said, 4A and 5, Region 7, 8, 9, 10. Bush, Bartica, Madhya, Letem, and the Linden, Region 10 Linden area. So that is the area where the people. So don't come and spew them thing this year and believe it and get through with it. I can make the statement because, again, that is facts. And let me say this further. Those people are not there because of any competence. They're not there because they're competent. You have people in senior command position who have had rape allegation made against them and the gun swept under the table. You have had people who have had other serious allegations made against them, including homicide, and they jump up. So don't come and talk about Paul Sloan and the Police Service Commission and all of that. Right? As I said, thanks to social media, I can respond. And let me say this. As I said, I and other members of the Police Service Commission can walk and hold our heads up high of the fantastic work we have done. And I have noted that a lot of the things that we have initiated at the Police Service Commission, they're continuing with it. They are continuing with it. We had a job, their own job to make sure we straighten things. We had a situation where when persons were recommended for disciplinary matter, the Minister of Home Affairs had to approve whether the Police Service Commission can institute disciplinary matters or not. I have to ask the question, where did that come from? The Constitution did not provide for that. And we stopped it. We told the administration plain that when a complaint is made against an inspector or an officer, the Police Service Commission is a constitutional body to deal with it. Not you send it to the Ministry of Home Affairs and then the minister writing to the commission to say that he has no objection to this matter being instituted. So it's a lot of things. So addressing this thing about the police or about the promotion of not promoting Afro-Guyanese, we never looked at ethnicity when we promoting. We looked to see those people who made the promotion, those who are competent, and those who met the criteria. That is what we do. That is what we did. That is what we did. So if Afro-Guyanese weren't promoted, it's because they did not meet the criteria, and the professional commission that I chaired was not going to do anything otherwise. Never had any political interference when I was there. I had one meeting with President Granger, and that is the constitutionally mandated consultation, which took place in August 2018 to promote people to commissioner and deputy commissioner. One. They knew that you couldn't come to Paul Slow with any rubbish to tell you who to influence who should be promoted as a commissioner or not. No, they knew that. And here you have a situation. As soon as the government came into being, on the 17th of September, government came into being the 2nd of August 2020. On the 17th of September, the president calling me, in-person meeting at the office of the president, and telling me about who should be promoted and all of that. He mentioned a lot of names who should not be. Talk about people who you have matter pending against them, and people who were rude, and he overheard transmission over the police radio and on the thing song on professional, all of that. And I have these things in affidavit. I swore to it. Because as I said, when you're telling the truth, you don't have to remember what you say. The truth is there. Folks, this is, I think we're coming to the end of this special meeting today. We're coming to the end. And I hope that I have addressed this matter. I plan to also write on my social media page. So, you know, you talk and sometimes something slip you. We're going to sit down, I'm going to document it. This rubbish, what the Minister of Governance or whatever their portfolio is, right? As I said before them, is they're good at propaganda. But thank the Lord for social media, we can come and we can address these things. So the facts are there. And I suspect, as I said, when you talk about this thing, they're also try to burn up record and destroy record and so on. Well, let them try. So all of these things with these people who are there and doing all kind of magic. So again, because on Sunday I spoke about what my experiences in the breakdown of rule of law, people arresting you for matters already before the court and tell you they're arresting you in the court compound to carry you to court, and that they're arresting you to read the caution of the charge. That's what I talk about. That has been my experiences there for all to see. And then I recounted what the lawyer said happened to her at Soku. And as I've said, the Guyana Bar Association, the Jamaica Bar Association, the Caribbean Bar Association, all of them have condemned it. All of them. Let me see if they're going to attack them. Because I see they're attacking the politicians in the U.S. For listening to people at the town hall meeting. They're attacking. Let me see if they're going to attack. But the evidence is there. Facts are there. They don't like facts. And again, I say they can make those statements because in the past, you did so, and nobody would come back. They didn't get the opportunity to come back. So again, to the person who suggested to me yesterday I should have a special broadcast, thank you very much for the idea. And I want to thank you guys. Oh, what the numbers. The numbers. Hundreds and hundreds of persons are here on Facebook and on YouTube listening to this broadcast. Hundreds and hundreds of people. So I thank you for your time. And as I said, don't be surprised if they come again, Don't be surprised, because that is the work, this propaganda thing. And they have some followers who are blindly loyal. They don't listen to, they don't watch the evidence and watch the facts. They don't listen to the message. They just look at the messenger. And I know that they have people monitoring this program, a man out of the Ministry of Home Affairs and some other police headquarters, monitor and report to them exactly what I said. Report to them what I said and let them try to refute. Let them try to refute anything that I said here this morning. I get the dates, I get the time, I have everything. The dates, the time, and everything. My good folks, we have been here now for 1 hour and 20 minutes. I thank you for your patience and time, and I hope that I have fully addressed. And I say to you again, look back and you form your own judgment, Don't just listen to me. Form your own judgment as to what you think. When a police service commission has less than 2 months of his life remaining, and then it is unlawfully suspended, you put sense out of nonsense. You pick sense out of nonsense. And then when you hear the minister talk about Paul Slow denying people promotion, I have outlined the facts to you. You come to your own conclusion as to whether that statement is a usually mendacious one or not. In other words, I use big word, whether they're lying or not. They're lying. They're lying. That is what it is. So thank you very much for your attention. And next week, Wednesday, we go back to the regular schedule at 11 o'clock. Remember, I said 11 o'clock New York time, but there will be a time change over the weekend. And so therefore, 11 o'clock New York time will be 12 o'clock in Guyana. So remember that. Make a note and remember that. I thank you. Have a good evening. Bye until next Wednesday.